Uganda.
We are traveling all over Uganda to find hardworking farmers.
We want to celebrate them while giving them the knowledge they need
to make their farms more productive and adapt to climate change.
We want to support them to get better yields and increase their income.
We will see how farmers can benefit from our experts' advice and turn their farms around into a profitable business
while learning from each other in so many ways.
Join us on these journeys and share in the farmers' experience
on the Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
Put it up.
Welcome to Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
In this episode, we're going to visit a farmer in Nakalago village, Chazanga sub-county, Luengo district.
Chazanga is one of the districts bordering the cattle corridor districts. Here farmers grow crops and keep livestock.
Let's go meet him.
Let's go meet him.
Meet 50-year-old Benon. He is originally from Bushenyi district and moved to this area in the early 1990s. He's been farming for the last 20 years.
Working hard, he grows a variety of crops and keeps livestock, but his main income comes from coffee.
Let's go meet him. Hello, Mr. Benon.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you, Benon.
Okay.
Yes. So finally we're here.
Okay.
And do you have any challenges?
I have some challenges in my coffee. I have the problem of coffee wilt, then drought. Mostly in our area here in Chazanga, we have long dry seasons. So you find that it's a problem in our coffee, it gets dry.
I see.
And the price fluctuation.
What do you mean price fluctuation?
In our area, the price for coffee is not constant. You find this month, 3,000. Next season, you find they change it.
How many cows do you have?
I have 9. I don't have enough pasture in my farm. Well, the land is very big, but the pasture is scarce.
Okay, now I'm confused. So you're saying there's lack of pasture?
Yes.
But the land is very big.
Very
How
big.
big is this land?
There are 20 acres.
Wow. And you still have scarcity of
Yes.
Anyways, you don't have to worry because you don't come alone.
Yes.
We come with experts that are going to help you.
Okay.
Aggie, I think we have, I know we have a lot of work to do.
Yes, we do.
So I know what I'm going to do.
You're going to do
coffee.
cattle.
No, huh?
Cattle?
Aggie, come on.
Because I also want to do coffee.
You do the cattle, I'll do the coffee.
Okay, then I'll stay and do the coffee. Cattle.
Benon also has some challenges with his cattle. But before I get down to business, let me first enjoy a nice cup of Ugandan coffee. Coffee is Uganda's second largest foreign exchange earner and an important source of income for Ugandan farmers.
Frobisha, get back to work.
We'll finish this later. To start off, we have invited our coffee expert, Andrew Magombe from Cafe Africa, to give Benon advice on his new coffee plantation. Are we in an orchard or a coffee plantation?
This is coffee plantation.
Coffee?
Yes, it is coffee.
These are new coffee.
This one is plants which I planted there to make some shades.
I'm excited. It looks like it is coffee in mangoes.
Yes, these mangoes I planted them to make some shades for
your coffee.
For my coffee.
The mangoes are going to overshadow the coffee
as it grows.
Okay. Secondly, the mangoes are heavy feeders. They'll be competing and taking too much nutrients from the coffee. And thirdly, the mango leaves that drop take long to decompose.
Okay.
So these mangoes will affect your coffee negatively.
Okay.
So ideally, you have to choose between having mangoes or coffee. If your aim is coffee, then these mangoes have to be cut.
Okay.
You may not cut them now, you may cut them progressively, but you have to replace them with recommended shade trees. the mutuba or ficus, the albizia. Those are very, very good trees for the coffee. Okay, I'm seeing the coffee, and I'm seeing one stem, and yet ideally supposed to be 3 stems.
Yes.
You have delayed a bit to bend.
Okay.
Why are we bending this coffee tree?
So bending induces sprouting of new suckers, which eventually increases your yield. Ideally, you look at the direction of the sun, where the sun rises from. Okay? Bend this facing to the side where the sun sets. This is true, and you should, so that the morning sun which rises is supposed to be hitting here.
Okay.
Now when it hits here, it allows or induces sprouting of new suckers. So this is how we shall bend. Bring your panga. Everything to use is just on the farm. This is a banana fiber. Cut. You have the stick, which is just on your farm. No excuse for saying I need money to buy this. And what you do, tie it. Tie the plants.
So we hold the ones that have...
Yes.
We tie them to at a go.
Because what we want is to provide...
The third one.
We need light here.
Okay.
Oh.
We need light here.
Okay.
So we are tying this so that they don't shade the plant. If you don't have a banana fiber, you can use a forked stick.
Okay.
Just make it fork here and then you drive it. But if you don't have that, we can use this.
Okay.
So I'm driving this in the soil. You will leave it. Yeah. When you are bending, you look at you consider 2 factors.
Okay.
One, the height of the plant, which should be knee high. Knee high is about 1.5 to 2 feet from the ground, okay? Secondly, look at the edge of the plant from planting, from the time you planted. It should be about 6 months from planting. So look at those factors.
That is some great advice. Now let's see how the mature coffee is doing. This is beautiful. Well done, Ben.
Okay.
Well done.
Okay.
This is good.
But Ben,
yes.
Why do you have Arabica coffee?
This one, we get it from bushenyi, from Rubirizi.
And why did you have to plant it here?
We are advised by the technical that this one is resistant to some coffee diseases. Let's say coffee wilt.
I thought all of them are coffee.
Yes.
I mean, is it bad to have different varieties?
The coffee varieties are suited for specific regions or areas. When you see, this is Arabica coffee. Yes. Arabica coffee is suited for highland areas which have mainly volcanic soils and they are cooler conditions. These areas are like the Mount Elgon region.
Mbale.
That is Mbale, Bugisu, and Sebei region, sub-regions. Then Renzori region, that is Kasese, and the surrounding areas of Kasese. Then in Rubirizi, that favors both Arabica and Robusta, because the conditions are in between. For Robusta coffee, which is suitable for the lowland areas, like Greater Masaka region, the Busoga sub-region, Bukedi sub-region, and the southwestern region.
And what is this we have spotted on his coffee plantation? Ben.
Yes.
I can see we have a ladder on a coffee plant. What do you use it for?
I think you can see this tree is high. So I use this ladder during harvesting. Yes.
During harvest?
Ben, how do you do it really? Can you show us how you do
Can you show it?
Yes,
okay.
sure.
I do like that.
Won't you fall?
Then I start harvesting.
How? Just
picking the red one.
berries.
Yes.
Now what happens is those that are the tip there, assuming they are...
Also I go there until I reach this way.
Oh my God.
I pick it.
Be careful, boss.
Okay, I can't fall.
Aren't you denying ladies also to participate in the coffee harvesting?
they just harvest the other one.
Ah.
Oh,
So this is only for men?
yes.
The tall ones are for
yes,
men?
because she
You
can't.
Calm down.
This is terrible. The height of the tree does not favor the harvesting of the coffee.
Yes.
To you as a man, but more so to ladies or females.
Okay.
This is too high actually. Just imagine you're not on the farm and we're only ladies. They would even fear to go and you've harvested. So you'd be denying the ladies the opportunity to also work on the coffee. Then secondly, while spraying and doing other management practices like pruning or whatever, especially spraying, the chemical will be dangerous, will dangerously affect your health,
Yes,
which is not good. We don't want you to look at getting money from coffee and you take it back to the hospitals for treating yourself
treating
against the
yourself.
chemicals.
Okay.
That will be a loss actually. So we recommend, it is recommended that this tree, after you've harvested the coffee and all the coffee is off, it will be nice to cut it back, to stamp it.
Okay.
Stamp it to allow
The
new
new
suckers to grow.
Okay.
Just within about 9 months, you'll be flowering. And within 12 months from cutting, you'll be harvesting. And you'll start harvesting at a lower height. It will be at a lower height, very high yielding, which is easier to, and that is easier to pick, and even easier to prune and to spray.
Benon, like many other farmers in this area, worries about the price they get for their coffee. So what advice has Andrew got for them?
A farmer can easily get the indicative price of coffee on his phone by simply typing and sending a message. You type the word Robusta and then send it as an SMS to 7197. You'll get a return message giving you the indicative price of Robusta coffee for both Chiboko and FAQ.
Having enough pasture for your cows is important if you want to improve on your milk production. But Benon is struggling with having enough pasture for his cows. But isn't 20 acres more than enough for 9 cows? I have invited Noelin, an animal production expert, to help us sort out some of Benon's pasture issues.
But I see this bare land.
Yes.
It shouldn't be, because you want to maximize the pasture. You want to get more pasture from your land. You shouldn't leave any land when it is bare.
Why is it not advisable to leave it like a bare land?
A bare land has many disadvantages. First of all, you are not gaining anything from it.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no money you can get from it.
Okay.
No feed you can get from it.
Okay.
And then, when it rains so much, the soil, you can see already, this one was washed off. There's a lot of soil erosion, the washing away of the topsoil.
Okay.
So, at least to prevent soil erosion, you need to cover the land.
What can he do?
So what you will do, when it has rained, you will dig around to soften the ground, and then you will apply some manure. There's a lot of cow dung which I've seen. And then you will plant the grass all over the bare land. As long as you have manure and it is raining, you will be able to cover this land.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
since your business is animal production, you can plant pasture here
Okay.
and improve on your pasture, increase on the yield of from the pastures, and your animals will be more healthy. There's a lot of room for improvement. As we were walking along, I saw a lot of plants which cannot be eaten by by your animals.
Yes.
So first you can just remove those ones, and then the animals can feed easily. You do the weeding. You can remove the shrubs, the plants, whichever is not eaten by the animal. That is very important if you want to increase on the pasture. You also have to introduce some paddocks.
Okay.
Because it's very important. If you want to increase on your pastures, you can't do away with paddocking.
Okay.
Your land is too big.
It will be.
So when you say paddocking, what do you mean exactly?
It's just separating the big farm into smaller plots.
some point you're feeding in here, and then the other
Yeah.
one is growing, and then, oh, okay.
Exactly.
Benon,
Yes.
do you have any friends?
Yes, I have.
They had better be ready, because from the experts' advice and this information, there is a lot of work that needs to be done here.
Okay.
Welcome back. We still have a lot of work to be done. Now, let's look at what Noeline recommended. 1. Establishing new pasture on Benon's pasture land. 2. Clearing all shrubs and weeds that are competing with the grass. 3. Paddocking to allow different sections of the land to grow more grass for these cows. Wow, this is a lot of work, and I will definitely need more help. I wonder what Frob is up to.
Well, what we are going to do here,
Yes.
we are going to construct a paddock. We shall need ficus, the mituba, and we shall need the luconi, which are locally available. Mr. Benon has them very many on his farm. So, and we shall make a line here we shall demarcate here.
Okay.
And then put in the poles and then the luconi to fill the gaps.
The luconi, you mean like?
This is what I mean. We are going to construct something like this.
You mean we're going to make something like this?
Yes. Along here.
No. Wait a second.
Frobisha!
Yes.
Go get the guys. We have work to do here.
Like ordering people around all the time.
Come with everything.
Yeah. Madam Noeline, so I think the fence is done.
Well, thank you. But, you know, this is just the beginning of the big work which has to be done. It's just a demonstration. That's what you have to multiply and do on all your farm so that you have different paddocks.
As Frob is obviously not going to help anymore, I will soldier on. But I'm not alone. I'm here with Benon and some of his neighbors. Learn more about this coffee disease that Benon had mentioned. Benon, I can see you brought some of your friends as well. And Andrew is here and ready to give you more information about what is happening in this garden.
As we were moving around the farm, Benon told me that there's a disease in his coffee garden.
Yes.
Maybe he would need to show us the disease.
This one of
It's called?
affecting the
What
the
is it
branches.
called?
That is coffee wilt.
Coffee wilt.
Yes. This one.
Okay. This is what you called.
Okay.
This is what he called coffee wilt. Okay. Now, by looking at this, farmers normally confuse the coffee wilt disease, and this pest.
Pests.
This is a pest.
Okay.
It's not a disease. It is a pest called a black coffee twig borer.
Okay.
It affects coffee and it dries the twigs. Coffee wilt wilts the whole plant progressively until it dries. But for black twig borer, the plant remains green, but you find the twigs drying. So the first thing is to identify the problem correctly. I mean, this is black coffee twig borer.
Black
Coffee
Coffee
twig
twig
borer.
borer.
It is a pest, not a disease.
Okay.
And if you want to see it, first you'll see these twigs drying while the other leaves are green, okay?
Yes.
Then next, if you want to confirm, you check closer and you'll see a small hole on the twig. That's where the insect entered from. It's a small black beetle. That's where it entered from. There are about four things that favor the pest. One, too much shade in the coffee plantation. For example, here, there's too much shade caused by bananas.
Okay.
You have intercropped your coffee with bananas, that is good. But unfortunately, every stool of banana you have left many bananas. Actually, there's a banana forest. I can see banana forests in the coffee. So that's too much.
Okay.
So those are shading the coffee, providing too much shade, and the twig borer therefore likes that condition.
Okay.
So the second aspect is that your coffee plants are very bushy. They have suckers, they have not been pruned. So there's too much darkness, and that condition favors the twig borer. I saw the other side of your farm. There were some trees that are not recommended.
Okay.
The musizi. You see the musizi?
It's around there.
Then the avocado.
Yes.
That avocado tree.
Okay.
So those two trees that we saw in your farm, the third one is Omusambia. I didn't see it, but there are three main ones. Those ones keep that pest.
That pest.
The twig borer. It hides there, stays there. As you control this side, it comes back.
Okay.
So now those trees are not good. They're supposed to be removed. Then the fourth one is that when I saw there are some good trees that you have left, like the mutuba, but the mutuba has too many branches. So those branches have to be reduced so that light penetrates.
Okay.
So those are the four main conditions that are bringing too much of this pest in your garden. We need to understand how to control that pest. So one, for the excessive bananas or banana shade caused bananas, we need to reduce, cut out some bananas. Okay? On every stool or every banana, so we call it a banana stool or mat, we leave 3 bananas. 2, prune off the dry branches or the infected branches, infested branches. Collect them in a container or a cavera or a sack and go and burn them outside the garden. Should you throw them in the garden, the pest will come out and again infest the more coffee. So that one you should not eat very seriously. The coffee which is bushy, you need to prune. You need to prune out the excess branches and also the suckers. You need to prune using a pruning saw. But as you prune, you must disinfect it first using spirit or jig. Otherwise, you stand the risk of spreading coffee root. Then, for the trees which host the pest, like the musizi and avocado, you need to remove them from the coffee plant. If you do that, you'll have controlled the pest and you'll have better yields. If your land is sloping like this, that's the upper side and this is the lower side. What you need to do, as you are putting the trenches, the trench on the upper side of the slope, the first trench, you dig the soil, putting it on the lower side. We call it fanya chini, so that it welcomes water. Now, the subsequent trenches in your garden, okay? We now do fanya ju. Fanya ju means dig the soil while putting it on the upper side.
Okay. In future, I'm planning also to follow the all expert team's advices. He gives me mostly in coffee. I will start doing it and control that problem which I've been facing indeed. And in animals, also I will get manpower to help me to see that I can control that problems.
That's all we had for you on this episode of Shamba Shape Up Uganda.
Until next time, bye-bye.